Test. Hello, welcome to the spooky Halloween special edition podcast episode. Ooh, spooky. We're going to be talking about some very spooky topics on this special podcast episode, like some spooky movies that I've been watching, like Diane Keaton movies recently. Oh no! So another dead celebrity. Oh, core blimey, lad! It just seems. You remember back in 2016? God, 9 years ago, when a whole bunch of celebrities were dying. We had like George Michael. This happened on like Christmas. And then the next day it was Carrie Fisher and I don't know who else. The American Dream. A bunch of other people. Probably a bunch of rappers, I guess. All these people were dying, and yeah, okay, whatever. And then it seems to be happening again this year, like a bunch of celebrities, like starting off with David Lynch at the start of the year, and then we had, Diane Keaton and Ozzy Osbourne, and of course King Cobra JFS, and Charlie Kirk, and D'Angelo, and Robert Redford, and of course the most heartbreaking death of the year, celebrity murder of the year, Ian Watkins. Oh, bummer, man. R.I.H. Oh god, this is such an old thing to even be talking about already, but the whole like Riyadh Comedy Festival. Why even say like what is there to even add now with that whole situation? Yeah, obviously there was a bunch of comedians. They did a show, and there's just been like I guess some like different reactions going on with like the whole thing. You know, some of them are like not even talking about it; they're just shutting the fuck up about it, even though fans are very mad. Some of them are more vocal against like the people giving them shit about this whole thing. And I mean, what they did is they performed in a country whose government has like human rights violations and that sort of thing, and they're one of the worst in the world. And the show was for the benefit of the government. It is a government show. They didn't just go to a random comedy club and like ha ha ha. And I guess that club will be taxed, and some of that money will go to the government, so you can make that kind of stink about it. But no, this is literally for like Saudi Arabia having a prosperous 2030 part of their 2030 regime, where the every year in 2030, we will behead 30,000 journalists. Wow, it's going to be so many. Good on you. Yeah, it really has been actually quite a big, I don't know, I would say cultural shift in the comedy scene, in the stand-up comedy scene. However gay and retarded that is anyway. Stand-up comedy. Might as well just go on stage and like throw up diarrhea out of your mouth, like just all over the stage, and all over the mic, and that would be preferable. That would be preferable than like what comedians can do nowadays, which is just go on stage and just tell their fucking life story in a slightly exaggeratedly performed, mildly comical kind of TED talk. I literally just watch comedy specials, and I don't even know why people in the crowd are laughing. I just assume that they have to stick the laughs in post in the editing mix. But anyway, I think it kind of goes without saying, but yeah, it's really bullshit what happened. Like Louis C.K. did it, and I'm like, oh, he's my fucking favorite. He's my favorite comedian. And then he was just on Bill Maher, and he said like, well, I think it's interesting. I like that people kind of rightfully shadow me because it opens up a conversation about blah blah blah. And okay, so he didn't really have much to say in terms of like a defense for himself, but he wasn't shitty about it. He just was like, oh hey man, it's like the Saudi Arabians, man, and they were cool, man. I hung out with them, and I drove around in their Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Beamers, and I was fucking sick, man. They do like they go like 200 miles per hour down the highway, and I'd be like hanging off the side of the car like, wow, man, it was fucking sick. Yeah, man. They're really cool people, man. What's wrong? Why do you have to have a go with them? No, it really was like saying like, oh, this, what, like it's good for the culture to just like, it's just good to go and make people laugh, Oh, look, this is an oppressed country. Let's make the people over there laugh. I mean, well, these aren't exactly the poor citizens. I don't know how much a ticket was over there. I didn't even know what the fucking Saudi Arabian currency is. I don't even know what like an Australian dollar is to that. Their currency. I could look it up right now, but no, maybe later. Okay, so and I guess like, and Louis C.K.'s never had a joke about like, oh, Saudi Arabians, they're really gay and shitty, and oh, I don't like them. They keep beheading my favorite journalists. God damn it. Oh, now you're doing a performance over there. Like, okay, so there was no hypocrisy. It was hypocrisy that was the worst thing. There was like none of that. So that's one thing. Just from what I've seen, like you have, there was that, and then Bill Maher said like, he was just like, really pussyfooting around and bullshitting as well about how when he like kind of probed Louis about this, he just went and like, oh well, who even gives a fuck anyway? Like it's such a non-issue that you performed for this country, that you performed specifically for their government, and so that government will make money to spend on like blade sharpening for the next journalist they want to behead, and like all the whatever they do, gay people that they throw out of the moving vehicles at 200 miles an hour. Who even cares? And then everyone in the audience applauded, and yeah, hopefully they closed the doors and gassed everyone inside. Just let Louis C.K. leave first, at least. Let him leave. It's like, oh shit, I gotta go real quick for a second. It's like, oh, okay. So that was that. I guess, wait, hang on. We're getting up to the big one, but then Whitney Cummings had to go as well, and hers was much shittier because she was just saying, you're racist, you're being racist. And no, I mean, look, like you can't have this shittiness about like first of all, how are you being racist against a nationality, like a nation of people? Okay, whatever. Being racist against Arabs, right? I almost said Palestinians. Oh, they would get really mad at me. They'd come to my house and behead me right on the podcast 5 seconds from now. Oh, that'd be a good way to get bloody views. I'd probably still get taken off YouTube though. Oh, great. Looking up from hell. Oh, I'm still getting videos taken down. Jesus Christ. But if I guess like, people say, oh, it's shitty that Saudi Arabian government beheads journalists and all this kind of thing. Oh, what a bunch of towelheads, blah, blah, blah. They fucking stinky Arabs, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, you've gone from like a good kind of like criticism and you're making it about... and then you're going from there and being racist about it. Wait, I guess that's no good, but fine, whatever, It's like if you get broken into by like a Chinese person and they beat the shit out of you and then they steal a bunch of your stuff, and leave, and all the while they're like, give me your money, you'll give it now, pay your money now. And then later on when you're complaining about all this to your friends, you're like doing it like in that Chinese accent, the fucking Chinese people always breaking into houses and stealing money, Friends like, dude, shut up, man. You're going to get us kicked out of this Chinese club. Yeah, I guess it's not a good thing, but then again, maybe it is justified. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, it's a bullshit response to the criticism. Like, no, you performed for like fucking government and beheading, and you're just like, you're racist, yeah, you're bloody racist, you are. Oh, British all of a sudden. I'm a bloody old woman from an 80s British sitcom all of a sudden. You're being racist. Oi, stop being racist. Why are you having to go with the Saudi Arabians? What do they ever do to you? That's what Whitney Cummings said. And she said it in that exact way. So that was a bunch of bullshit. But I don't know. I feel like I'm not even like that well educated on like what she even said. Because like I watched like 30 seconds of a video of that. And I just start like vomiting violently because I'm just so horrified and disgusted by this fucking bitch. I mean, first of all, you're not even funny. You're just like... on stage just going, oh, I've had a lot of sex over the years, but nothing compares to a Saudi Arabian shag. These racists say they're stinky, but they're not. They smell like the best cologne money could buy. They spend $500,000 on a single bottle. Oh, his cock smelled amazing. And then I don't know if I guess Pete Davidson did again. I think he said something, and it was just like, oh yeah, I think that was it, because like he has like a very particular relationship with the Saudi Arabians. Yeah, anyway, well, like, why even go into it? Like, everyone knows, like, they killed his dad. Now he gets on the stage, like, hey, guys, are we ready to laugh? Like, or that kind of thing. Okay, whatever. And then we get to Bill Burr, and again, like, everyone knows. Bill Burr has railed against basically wealth inequality, super rich people, billionaires, blah, 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 just, like, throwing their money around, and it's not fair because other people are, like, just suffering and can't buy Pringles and pretzels and all this sort of stuff. They don't have enough money, And then, but he's just doing a gig for them anyway, so he can like buy another Lambo or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, that's kind of shitty, because unlike Louis and maybe unlike these other comedians who I haven't even seen their work, he has made these like jokes before on stage about this sort of thing. Like, this is like a part of. If you're going on stage complaining about like this sort of thing, why are you then engaging with it? I mean, I realize as I say this now, like, I guess he has done and I have done, like, gone on stage and shat on women. But then later on, we are like, oh, I love women. Oh, I want to be with them. Oh, aren't I a hypocrite then? I guess we all are. No, this is bullshit. And then, like, after the whole thing, and I can't even remember what he said. I mean, like I say, this is old news. It doesn't matter. Like, is Bill Burr really going to come out to like a gig in wherever and be like, "Hey guys, how you going?" and then there's like no one in the crowd except like 4 like Saudi Arabians living in America going. He's like, "Oh no, all my crowd are gone." Yeah, I don't think so. I think there's a lot of normies out there that are just, the kind that are like just shoveling popcorn and Maltesers in their face, just going, "Oh, make me laugh, funny man." Oh no. If Bill Burr personally had beheaded a journalist, people would still show up. It'd still show up. "Oh, he's making fun of Trump." They would just slap it up anyway, and yeah, it doesn't really matter, Make them laugh. I guess what did Billy Burke I forget what he even said, because he just had a stink about it in an interview. It's just like, I guess he did the same. He said like about the Saudi Arabians, oh, they're great people, and I hung out with them, and we had an Instagram model fly over so I could take a shit on her, and it was all great fun, You know what I don't understand? Why is it that they've got to take a shit on an Instagram model? Like, what's up with that? Like, you're the one, like, I guess because you're like, yeah, you're being defiled, I don't know. I'd rather she take a shit on me. Like, oh, I get to see her asshole. And wow, look at this, so intimate. It's like, I can see you poop. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable. Like, and how do you just squat over them? Because I don't like squatting and shitting, I need to sit down. I know it's bad for you, but like, so you'd have to like sit on like, there'd have to be some sort of seat, like an emerald seat, but like, the space for where your shit's gonna go, and there's like underneath it's just whatever, there's the Instagram model, and you're like, okay, you good? You're all lined up? Yeah, it's gonna hit you on the tits, right? Okay, right, ready? It's not coming out. Fuck. Oh, I had it before. Wait a minute. She's like, you got a little bit coming out. He's like, oh, hang on a minute, guys. Just give me a sec. I'm getting nervous. I might need a coffee. It might be diarrhea. Just have a few Red Bulls, and here we go. Oh, there we are. And there you go, bitch. You get your $800,000 out of that. Not to mention being flown over and accommodation and everything. They can just do it. Or instead of paying you, they just behead you. Just scalp you and shove it in your mouth and sword rape your pussy and cut off your tits and flay you to death. Like, why should we pay her? Let's just fuck her up and kill her. Your parents are like, oh no, what happened to our daughter? Oh, I don't know. I think she said she was going to Ireland. You might want to check over there instead. Oh, good stuff. Anyway, happy Halloween. Oh, the spooky season. Yeah. Oh, spooky. Fucking hell. I was walking around the shops the other day and I saw like Halloween decorations and that's cool, you know. I saw this. Well, I saw like a pumpkin like in the store and it was like yellow and it had candy on it. Not real candy. And I was looking at it. This fucking sucks, man. I hate this one. Then there was another one that was like kind of like a gay looking like jack-o'-lantern disco ball kind of look. And I was like, that's cool, I guess. It's gay, but that's fine. It's cool. And then another one that like had just more of a badass just look to it. I was like, yeah, that's badass. That's cool. But I think I was walking past one of them trying to get to Woolies and like I heard a noise, like a bang, and I looked over and like this like huge like potted plant that they have in the shopping mall like fell over. And I was looking at it. And some other people were looking at it as well as they walked by, and I was like, I don't see anyone around. Like, no one like tipped it over. I didn't see anyone like walk by looking hell grotty, being like, fucking cunt, fuck, and then they just grabbed it and threw it over and kept walking like, you fucking cunt, I'll fucking stab you. He's just like talking to himself as they're walking by. I didn't see that. I just saw a bunch of normal people go like, oh, what the fuck was that? Like they just turned around and looked at it. I was like, oh, how did that fall over? Oh, spooky. Oh no, getting bad juju from the Halloween jack-o'-lanterns. Oh, I better get that out. You know, we only got a few more days left till Halloween, but fuck that. I don't want to have any dicking around with any more ghosts and paranormal activity and poltergeists and all this kind of crap going on when I'm just trying to buy bloody... What? Bad expired hummus. Oh no, hummus I had expired. Oh, I didn't realize it had a reduced sticker on it. That was like, what, 3-4 days out of date? That's what I've seen in IGA. Like selling expired hummus on a reduced price, but it's like out of date by like 3 days. It's like, fuck. Let me have some. Shove it in my mouth and it'll come out my ass looking exactly the same the way it went in. Just gonna go over. So I didn't actually realize this. Maybe it says on my license plate, but normally when you have a country, you have like states that have a slogan. And I was like, oh yeah, I wonder what it is, Australia. So yeah, anyway, whatever. I'm looking it up right now and just seeing which what the slogans are for each state in bloody Australia. So here we go. So let's start with Western Australia, the state I'm in. By the way, I'm doxing myself. The state of excitement. Oh, more like the state of excrement. All right. Next up, Queensland, the Sunshine State. More like the Bumshine State. Northern Territory, just simply says Outback Australia. More like Out Black Australia. Get out, Black of Australia. New South Wales is the premier state. More like the pedophile state. South Australia, the festival state. More like the testicle state. Tasmania, Holiday Isle, or explore the possibilities. More like holiday pile, or explore the possibility. More like explode the possibilities. Victoria, the education state, or peace and prosperity. more like the sex education state, or piss and prosperity. Are these accurate? Well, I have to say, these are pretty shit. I mean, for New South Wales, the premier state. Oh, where the hell's ACT, by the way? Oh, we're just not going to include that one then? I guess they don't get to... Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, wait, I think I see it now. Fucking AI. ACT, the Bush capital. I'm not sure if this is official. More like the Bush crapital, as in like a bushy vagina and shit coming out of it. That's what our fucking politics is all about. Yeah. The premier state, like, you just have like the premier state, the sunshine state, the festival state. These are the state of excitement. These aren't even exciting slogans. It doesn't say like, like get hard or get going, get on the road, or we are cool, or or something. Explore the possibilities. That's pretty shitty as well. The education state, I mean, what the fuck does that mean? Like, peace and prosperity, it's just so platitudinal, and Outback Australia is just so vague, and they should call it the fucking, the, in quotation marks, like, the dry community Outback. The Outback filled with, like, deadly animals like snakes and murderous kangaroos and wild boars and drunk aboriginals, and that should be their slogan. Tasmania, Holiday Isle. I don't mind that too much. Something about that sounds kind of sexy. Is it really an... or whatever, I guess it is an isle. I don't know what a fucking isle is. State of excitement couldn't be any further away from the truth. Western Australia should just be like... it should be the mining... Mind your own business, That's clever. That's good. That's a good one. That's a fucking good one. You can start your own bloody mining business, and like I'm gonna start a mining business, but I don't actually do any mining. I'm just like, hey, what about the Aboriginals and their land? You need to pay me $200,000 to have a consultation about land ownership and what does it really mean, man? That's what it should be. The festival state for South Australia, like, just fuck off. Where did that even come from? It should be called church, whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of churches in South Australia, I guess. I don't know. How about we call it the fucking flyover state? Because that's what it is in Western Australia. Like, that's where you just fly over it. You look over, you're like, there's Adelaide. Yep, keep flying, keep fucking flying. We're not stopping here just yet. Keep going to Melbourne or Brisbane or wherever. Fuck that. The Sunshine State. I mean, we're the Sunshine Country. The whole fucking place is sunshiny. And I mean, Queensland is a bit more, like, tropical, so they should call it the fucking Thunder and Lightning. That should be the slogan. Fucking badass, And it's like thunder spelt with an A instead of a E and a hard R. Thunder and lightning. Yeah, maybe we should just get like AC/DC song lyrics and have them as the slogans for these states. Because yeah, that'd be really annoying because everyone fucking hates Akadaka, Nah, I don't know. Maybe it's just me and my friends. Well, that's really what that's what we got, and that's what we have to stick with. And maybe AI is wrong, maybe I'm wrong, but if that's the case, then I'll go fuck my dad then. So, as I said in the last episode of David Morgan Brown Experience, I was talking about I said that I would talk about The Shield. So I finally fucking finished The Shield. Remember The Shield? Remember that show? I really did start watching it a long time ago. Honestly, 2020. Fucking 2020. That's when I started watching it, honestly. And I don't know, it just took me some time to get through it because I don't know, I didn't give a fuck. No, it just, it was, I guess I had mixed opinions and feelings about the show as it went on. Mostly positive, okay, so don't fucking shoot me in the head. Mostly positive, but I guess some seasons were simply better than others, and I guess I already talked about, like, season 4, and I guess generally, look, I think I just want to talk about the ending, because the ending is whack. And I guess people were saying, like, oh, it's one of the best TV show endings ever, or whatever. So, spoilers. And here's what I mean about, like, the show kind of sometimes just feeling like it's okay, and then other times feeling like it's real kino. Because the last season, season 7, I thought started off, like, okay, and I'm like, alright, it's just, like, going through the general stuff with, like, the Armenian money train, and all that kind of thing, like labor on that whole plot line, because not only, once it's all done, they're like, oh, now we gotta make sure we cover our tracks and make sure no one finds out, and oh no, this person found out, we gotta, like, blackmail them to make sure they don't, like, tell anyone. That's cool to just, like, have some plot line, like, keep going, like, you know what it is with, like, a floating narrative? Like, shows like Breaking Bad and stuff have that, where, like, an episode ends and then it just continues on with the story in the next episode, as opposed to whatever it's called, episodic structure, where it's each episode has to have, like, its own some sort of story that gets brought up and basically gets concluded in that episode. And maybe they can, like, allude back to it in the next episode, but it's still, like, its own, like, thing, like, I don't know, The Simpsons or whatever show where they go through, like, a whole story and then there's the re-equilibrium at the end. And that's something that I felt The Shield tried to have it both ways, and I felt like The Shield, if that show had come out, like, it started in, like, 2002. I think the first episode was on September 11th. If the show had come out a bit later, around the Breaking Bad time, I guess, like, later in the decade, when floating narratives became more of a popular thing to have in a TV show, it just would have been better, because it started to feel like you see these episodes and it's continuing. It does have a floating narrative. It's continuing on with the Armenian money train, trying to cover our tracks and making sure no one finds out. Oh no, don't let those files get leaked. Better shoot the person in charge of them then and steal them back. Oh no, now we got to deal with this whole thing with shooting the person. But then there's also in each episode, like, Dutch and that bald asshole guy and Claudette and the hot Mexican chick and the gay dude, Jules. Like, just all of them dealing with, like, oh, look, there's a murder. Oh, shit, and it was it's gang related. Oh, it turns out it was, like, the mum of one of the gang members. So something like that. I don't know, something like that, and then they bring him into the the interrogation room, interrogate them. Person's like, yo, this shit be whack, yeah. You gotta let me out in 4 hours, man, and I'm back on the streets, know what I mean? And it's like, this person, they think he's murdered the person, but he actually knew the murder, or he saw the murder, or he, like, is, he's doing something criminal. He's, like, aiding and abetting or whatever. It's something like that, but it's like, it just, every fucking episode, it seemed, it just had to have, like, storyline C, because we had, like, 2 floating narratives going on. We had, like, something, going on with the Armenian money train or whatever, trying to cover, like, the corruption in the squad that they had, that Vic and everyone had, and then some other thing with Vic and fuck, what's his name? God damn it, the Walton Goggins character, Sammy, Sean Boy, what the fuck's his name? God damn it, I hate, like, watching a TV show for, like, 5 years, 7 seasons, and I'm like, oh wait, what's the name of the main character? Well, I guess he's not the main character, but he's probably my favorite character in the fucking show. Oh, god damn it. There'll be some other plot line to do with, like, Shane and Vic and their whole situation, and or something like that, or, like, trying to stop one of the squad members from, like, leaking information, the information about the corruption, like, that whole thing. So and then you have this, like, episodic story as well going on, like, and it's just, it just seemed, like, repetitive. Like, they just had to have this. They had to have, like, the supporting cast of, like, Dutch and Claudette and all those people, just like, oh, we got our own situation going on. And it's, like, just very much divorced from, like, the main story. Like, most times it doesn't really help with the main story. And, a lot of the time it doesn't even push forward like those characters too much either. Like at times it may do, and it's like it just sort of feels like you can feel it in the writing of the show where you're like, oh, I guess the writers were like, hey, let's bring this person back, and maybe something happened here, and I don't know. Which is a shame because in terms of this whole floating narrative, it was done very well, and it did get very intense, and just the whole situation of actually, I like how even in the 7th season, it all goes back to the first episode. That first fucking episode, which is so awesome, where Shane and, you know, along with like the rest of the squad, he shoots that newbie guy so he can't let out information about their corruption. And then, you know, now this corruption can't be leaked either. And they keep like, it keeps getting getting alluded back to because you have folks like David, like the main head of the barn, the police department, the precinct, how he's like trying to uncover like that kind of corruption. And even when he's left the barn, and he's like trying to run for, was it mayor or some sort of political thing, there's still like this, just things with like I guess it's like a quid pro quo like that they have, and how he has such these like high suspicions of like what happened all the way back to the pilot episode. He's trying to dig it out, and then Vic has information on him being raped and that kind of thing. Oh, that was a great season. I guess I already talked about season 4, but like it's crazy what happens to David, and then like he just the whole situation that he had with how he starts like seeing that hooker and everything, and that was intense. Anyway, getting on to like the finale episode. Okay, so yeah, the 7th season starts off okay. I'm like getting through it, like whatever. It just feels like it's just trudging along, and I'm kind of wondering like how is this all going to end? Because there are like so many, despite it being kind of really about just those two things, there's also a bunch of other things that it's like those are the two things that you'd think clear up, and then there's a whole bunch of other things that may or may not get cleared up, and does it really matter, you know, that kind of thing. But you want to know like what's going to happen with like Vic and his relationship with Shane, and how they have to deal with, you know, like I said spoilers earlier, but like because Shane blew up Lem so he wouldn't like release the information, and that was a whole big fuck up, and trying to get like, and also like Vic gets kicked off the squad, so he has to bargain his way into getting some sort of immunity as well, so he has to be careful with all that. I think it was done pretty well. I think it was done pretty like carefully, like showing how all these pieces kind of like fall together, but then some of the pieces don't fall quite in the way that some of the characters want them to. Mostly Vic is fine, I guess, in terms of how it all ends, but I guess things just get things started to get heated with it when Shane goes on the run with his like wife and kid, pregnant wife and kid, and Vic is like also not on the run, but he's out of the squad, but he's still trying to track down Shane, and that's when shit started to get intense, and just how like they're trying to find Shane, and he's trying to like skip the country and everything, and I was wondering, oh, how's it all gonna end, you know? This is getting like, oh, so intense, you know. What's he going to do? Is he going to flee to Mexico with his family and start a new life? I wonder what it's going to be. And then he gets to, I got up to like the last episode, or it's like a 2-parter, so I watched the first. And yeah, the way that whole situation ended, I was like, oh, fuck. No, this is the worst case scenario. It really, really is. It really is, you know. It wasn't like, oh, he got caught, oh no, or his wife dobs him in, and oh no, oh, and she doesn't even have total immunity, or she's gonna have to spend some time in prison as well for like aiding him in his escape. Oh no, even the like 2-year-old is gonna get arrested, thrown in juvie for aiding with his being a fugitive. But nope, Shane just kills them both and then himself. Nice one. And then the episode ends, and I'm like, oh, fuck. What a great ending. I mean, I believe in that ending. Like, it works for the show. It works for the context of the show. It just has quite the hard-hitting, dramatic impact. Like, that's for sure. It seemed like they went all out with it, and it just made me so fucking depressed. It's like, oh, fuck, man. But here's the problem, though. Like, that's a great episode. But then it gets to the next episode, like the second parter. I should mention this now. There's kind of a confusion because there's two versions. Like, I had the DVDs of The Shield, and so because I bought them for like $10 on Marketplace because they're much better quality than they were on Amazon Prime, and because Amazon Prime showed it in very low bit rate, and then they took it off Amazon Prime anyway. So fuck you all. So I got the DVDs, and it showed like two different versions of this last ending. Like, one's the two-parter, two different episodes, and then there's another which like is like one long episode. It's basically twice as long, but it just keeps those two episodes together, but it mixes some of the scenes around. So I had to skip through the latter of those, just to see, because I wanted to see if things were that much different, and I guess they're not really. It's probably even worse, really. Okay, so here's the problem, and everyone keeps jizzing on about like this show. I mean, the finale in general, and I'm like, yeah, this finale, oh, it's so depressing and fucked up and dark. Oh, what a great show. But then the second episode, I played immediately after. I'm like, oh, how's everyone going to feel about this whole thing? Because, I mean, it's the squad themselves, well, the likes of Claudette and Dutch and all those folks. They're the ones that discover all these bodies, you know. They just miss out on seeing Shane kill himself. Like, they've just seen this fresh suicided body. And then the next episode starts, and I was thinking it's going to be like them being like, oh, we're all fucked up by seeing that. No. And yet again, even in the last episode, you have this, like, episodic story where it's just going to be, like, fucking free stacks, and he's in a church, like, talking about, you know, no, these people don't care about the black man and all this kind of crap, and trying to establish himself as a political candidate, I guess. He's trying to do that as well. And they're like, you know, hey, you need to back up, you don't have permission, blah, blah, blah. That's what the characters who just saw, like, a dead kid and, like, pregnant wife and their old suicided teammate that they were looking for, that they wanted, like, all this to not happen. Like, it's what is this, like, the same day? They're just like, hey, man, you don't have permission, you don't have the permit to, you know, walk around here and talk about your political campaign. You need to step aside. Really? Like, there's no psychological holdover on, like, how this... I thought this last episode would be, like, a debrief on how the fuck they felt about it all, but no. And even, like, when Claudette... Like, there's barely any mention of it. There's just barely any mention of it. What the fuck? And then there's even a scene where Claudette gets pissed off because when she finds out about this immunity system that Vic's getting, and she gets really pissed off, and she's getting pissed off at Dutch, and she just says to him, you're fired, get the hell out of my face. And Dutch is just like, hey, look, you need to calm down, all right? You're just, like, upset because of the whole Shane situation, but blah, 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 blah. Yeah, motherfucker, of course you'd be upset. Like, this is such a throwaway line. Like, it's literally not even a whole line. It's just in the middle of a sentence. And he's talking about, yeah, like, oh, you saw, like, a murdered family of an old teammate that you had. Oh, well, you know, anyway, let's carry on. I don't know, man. That just seemed like a bunch of bullshit. And it just completely threw me off. I was watching the episode literally just saying, what the hell is going on? Is this... Because when that episode started, and it shows all these characters doing this stuff with free stacks and being like, hey, you need to get out of the church and blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, this is like a few days earlier, it must be. This is when, like, shit hasn't, like, really hit the fan. But then someone mentioned Shane, and I'm like, oh, yeah, he died, whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck? How weird. I'm so bothered. I was so bothered. So that's what I got to say about it. I mean, other than that, it's a very good finale. The way it, like, very, well, I mean, I guess that was the whole Vic and Shane situation dealt with. Oh, and I guess Shane committed suicide because Vic gave him a call where he's like, yeah, boy, I got immunity and you don't. We're coming after you. So that, like, really fucked Shane up because he had no, what is it called? No hold, no power or anything to bargain with towards Shane. He wasn't able to, towards Vic, he wasn't able to do it at all. So yeah, cool. I mean, that's all very well done. It's just not the whole fucking thing of just forgetting about this dramatic thing that happened. Ugh. And then ultimately, yeah, I guess Vic just became just another schnook. Ha ha ha. Oh, what a shame. What a terrible life he has to live now. Well, I guess, yeah, after the whole... What a fucked up situation. Now, that really sucks, that he tried to get all that money. Like, what was it, like a couple million or something to share with him and 3 other teammates. But I can't even remember what exactly happened. But then, like, Lem burns most of it. They end up with, like, 16 thou each. Probably less. Probably, like, split between them. And it might have been that much. Yeah, and then they killed Lem, and and then he like loses his Vic loses his like kids. They have to go into witness protection, I guess, because his wife was ratting him out. Yeah, and all that stuff was really intense. I felt like the last season, like kind of a bullshit start where it's just like trudging along, but then things start to get, as soon as Shane gets caught out and leaves, things just get really pressurized, and you just like, oh fuck, but there's still like about 6 episodes left of the show, and you're like, oh wow, it didn't do it all like quickly. It didn't like just really rush an ending. It's very, very much done unrushed ending. So I'm glad they did it in that way. I did have my one complaint, but there you go. That's that fucking show fucking done. Mixed feelings about it, but overall I give it an 8 or whatever out of 10. Some of the seasons were just like, or some parts of it, some episodes or like season finales, you're just like, oh yeah, whatever. What's going on? Whatever. I don't know. I wasn't listening. All right. Well, what do I watch now? What TV show? Do I just watch Breaking Bad again? Do I just watch Better Call Saul again? Should I buy some weed and watch Twin Peaks to return again? I guess I will. Anyway, thank you for listening to the spooky Halloween spooky... Oh, look at all the horror-themed things we talked about in this episode. I'm sure I'm missing out on something, but, I don't know. Go fuck yourself!